Om Sadashivassamarambam
Racharya
Shankaracharya
Madhyamam Asmacharya
Asmadacharya-Paryantam
Paryantam
Vande
Vande Guru
Guru-Paramparam
Parampara
Paramparam
Smriti
Shrutismriti-Puranam
Purananam Alayam
Shrutismriti-Puranamanam
Karunalayam
Karunalayam
Namami
Nami
Namami
Bhagavat Pada
Bhagavad-Pada-Shankaram
Shankaram
Lokashankaram
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 Shankaram
Shankaracharya
Shankaracharya
Keshavam
Keshavam
Badarayanam
Badarayanam
Sutrabhashya-krutau
Shakatau
Vande
Sutrabhashakruto
Vande
Vande
Bhagavantau
Bhagavanto Punah
Bhagavantau
Punah
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 Mandasmita-mukham
Mandasmitamukam
Mukam
bhojam
Mahaniya
Mahaniya
Punarnavam
Gunarnavam
Madhurabhashinam
Madrabhashinam
Shantam
Madrabhashinam
Shantam
Shantam
Sarvabhutadayaparam
Sarvabhutadayaparam
Bhaktavatsal
Vatsalyam
Jaladim
Jaladim
Vatsaliam Jaladim
Paramananda
Paramananda
Vigraham
Paramanandam
Vigraham
Prapannosmi
Prapanosmi
Jnananandam
Nirmala
Prapannosmi
Jnana Siddhe
Nirmalajnana Siddhaye
Ayatu Varada Devi
Ayatu Varada Devi Aksharam Brahma Sammitam Gayatrim Chandasam Matedam Brahma Jushasvame Ojosi Sahosi Palamasi Prajosi Devanam Dhamanamasi Vishwamasi Vishwayu Sarvamasi Sarvayu Rabibhurom Gayatrim Avahayami Savitrim Avahayami Saraswatim Avahayami Chandarshin Avahayami Shriyam Avahayami Gayatriya Gayatri Chando Vishwamitra Rushi Savita Devata Agnirmukham Brahma Shiro Vishnu Hrudayagam Rudram Shikha Prutivi Yoni Prana Vyanodhana Samana Saprana Shvetavarna Sankyayana Sagotra Gayatri Chatur Vishatyakshara Tripada Shatkukshi Panchashirsha Panayane Viniyoga Om Buhu Om Buvaha Om Suvaha Om Mahaha Om Janaha Om Satyam Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Om Apo Jyotirso Amrutam Brahma Bhurభువస్వరం Om Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitum Na Chedevam Devo Na Khalu Kushalas Panditumapi Atastvamaradhyam Hariharavirincadibhirapi Pranantum stotum va Kathamakruta punya prabhavati.
Spanda means a vibration, a movement. You can also call it as pulsation, throb. For example, when there is a pulsation in a lake, you can see the ripples on the surface of the lake. In the lake, the pulsation is a movement. When the pulsation happens to the divinity, happens to Shiva, it's not a movement. Because if a movement must occur, there should be space and time. How can movement happen without space? How can movement happen without time? So space and time do not exist outside Shiva. Because Shiva is Parabrahman. Shiva is consciousness. There is nothing outside Parabrahman. So the movement cannot occur outside Shiva. So the movement that happens to the divinity, the Parabrahman, the Shiva, is not a movement. And this movement is kinchit chalanam. Kinchit chalanam. See, you can visualize something moving continuously without changing its position. Right? Something is moving continuously without changing its position. Kinchit chalanam. Call this as vibration, pulsation. This is the movement without any motion. See, scientifically, when you look at But relativity, see, an object in space moves relative to other objects, but the object is always at rest from its own reference point of view, from its own frame of reference. For example, we have certain mental processes which occur within us. That mental processes doesn't have any physical movement. So spanda is a movement as it were, a movement without any motion. Spanda is ananda, the ecstasy of the Parabrahman, the divine consciousness. Spanda is also vimarsha. It's also called as vimarsha. And vimarsha is Shiva's swatantraya, absolute freedom. Absolute freedom. And the immovable appears as though it is moving. For example, when the sun shines on the waves in an ocean, it looks as though the sun is moving along with the waves. The sun doesn't move. Or you're driving, going in a car. You got the side mirrors in the car. You look at the sun reflecting on the mirrors. And the car is moving. It looks as though the sun is also moving along with the car when you look at the mirror. The sun is not moving. Or you got a wheel. A wheel is spinning at a particular speed. But the center of the wheel is always still. So it's movement without moving. So this movement without moving is spanda. Spanda or vibration, you can call it, or it is pulsation, you can call it throb, something which is happening within the divinity. In fact, there is a text called Spandakarika, the Kashmir Shaivism. It's a very beautiful text. If you get a chance, you can read it. It's available. It should be available on the internet. Spandakarika. It's a very ancient text. So Spanda is Vimarsha, and that Spanda is the self-awareness of the divinity, self-awareness of the Parabrahman. Now, how do you understand self-awareness? If I ask you a question, do you exist? What will be your answer? You will tell me it's a silly question, isn't it? You exist. Of course, I exist. Can you prove your existence? How will you prove your existence? You're self-evident, isn't it? You're self-evident. It is not necessary to prove your evidence. Your self-evident nature. So this Spanda is Swatantriya Shakti of the Parabrahman. And the Swatantriya Shakti of Parabrahman is inseparable from Parabrahman. It is like a reflection on the mirror. If you stand in front of the mirror, reflection is inseparable from you, isn't it? So Swatantriya Shakti is inseparable from the Parabrahman. It is like this dynamic waves on the ocean, the dynamic waves on the water. And it is the cosmic dance of the universe. So Spanda is like a wave or waves in the ocean. Spanda is the waves in the ocean of Shiva. And the ocean and the waves are inseparable. But they look as though they're separate. Because when you see the wave, you forget the ocean. So Spanda is the creative pulse of the all-pervasive consciousness called Shiva. Look at the ocean. So many waves, isn't it? The waves are inseparable from the ocean. Waves will not exist independent of the ocean. Ocean will be independent of the waves. It looks as though the ocean one day decided, let me express myself. So let me express my joy. So it expressed the joy as waves. So the ocean decided, I am one. Let me become many. So it expressed itself as many waves. Ekoham bahusyam. When we say ekoham, ekam aham, let me express myself as many. Ekoham bahusyam. And this is the expression of the Parabrahman. I am one, let me become many. And this is the Sankalpa Shakti of the Parabrahman. And the Sankalpa of the Parabrahman is Spanda, the pulsation, the vibration, it is Shakti. Ekoham bahusyam. I am one, let me become many. The ocean decided, and it started expressing itself as waves. So that one Parabrahman, that one consciousness expressed itself as the vast universe, like how waves started appearing out of the ocean. So without this Sankalpa, without this Spanda, which is the Sankalpa Shakti of the Parabrahman, how can Parabrahman express itself as many? It is not possible. So the Shakti is prompting Parabrahman to express itself as many. And the expression is the joy of the Parabrahman, joy of Shiva. So when you look at the waves in the ocean, what do the waves represent? They represent the ocean alone. Wherever there is a wave, there is ocean, correct? Wherever there is wave, there is water. Ocean is water. Similarly, when you look at the creation, wherever there is creation, there is Parabrahman. And the creation is nothing but a mere appearance of Parabrahman. So this is Vivarta. Vivarta means a mere appearance. Like how waves are appearing out of water. And the appearance is also known as abhasa. Abhasa means reflection. The sunlight reflecting on the water is abhasa. Without the sunlight, there will be no abhasa. So the creation as it appears is abhasa. Without the Parabrahman, there will be no abhasa. How can there be waves without water? So the entire creation is abhasa. And the creation is Shakti. So Brahman is Chit. And the creation is Chit Shakti. The Shakti of Parabrahman. All through the creation, it is Parabrahman alone. See, all through the waves, you look at every wave, millions and millions of waves which are appearing out of the ocean. Infinite number of waves appearing out of the ocean, and the waves are water alone. Whenever you see the wave, it is water. So when you see the creation, it is Parabrahman alone. Chit and Chit Shakti are inseparable. So just like how a lamp will illumine a room. So that Chit, that Brahman, the Parabrahman, illumines everything in the creation. So all our experiences, all our interactions with the objective world, they are illumined by the Parabrahman. And all the experiences are known to us, isn't it? The state of knowing. So that state of knowing is Chit. And the Chit is this objectless consciousness, objectless awareness, pure knowing, in presence of which everything else is known. Sense of light, every object in the room is known. Pure knowing. And this Parabrahman is available to all of us for direct realization. Direct realization. Look at the creation, that is Parabrahman. So how difficult is to realize that the waves are nothing but water? But many people are not prepared for direct realization. The mind is not ready. So Sri Vidya offers the path. So in the Sri Vidya school of Tantra, discusses Abhasa. So the creation is nothing but the Sankalpa of the Parabrahman, the Sankalpa Shakti of the Parabrahman. And the Parabrahman is expressing itself as many, so it becomes the Leela of the consciousness, the Leela of Shiva. So when there is Leela, there is a duality. One becomes many, isn't it? The many is duality. So when a person starts, see, a person starts with duality. So follows the path of Sri Vidya and realizes the non-dual Parabrahman. So there is no difference between Sri Vidya and Advaita. So the moksha is granted by Shakti, and the moksha is about realizing the Parabrahman. Through the wave, you realize the water. Because many minds are not ready to realize the water directly, even though Parabrahman is there for direct realization. So you follow the waves. Through the waves, you realize the Parabrahman. So Spanda is creating some sort of movement within Shiva, a movement without moving. And that movement is objectless awareness. So in the first shloka of Soundarya Lahari, Shankara begins with Shivaha Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitum Nachedevam Devo Nakalu Kushalaha Spanditumabi. Ataswam Aradhyam Harihara Virinjadibirapi Pranantum Stotum Va Katamakruta Punya Prabhavati Shivaha Shaktya Yuktaha Yadi Bhavati Shaktaha Prabhavitum Nachet Evam Devaha Nakalu Kushalaha Spanditum Api Nakalu Kushalaha Spanditum Api Nachedevam Devo Nakalu Kushalaha Spanditum Api Ataha Tvam Aradhyam Ataswam Ataswamaradyam Ataha Tvam Aradyam Harihara Virinji Adihi Api Harihara Virinji Adihi Api Pranantum Stotum Va Katam Akrutapunyaha Prabhavati Pranantum Stotum Va Katam Akrutapunyaha Prabhavati. So Shivaha Shaktya Yuktaha Yadi Bhavati Shaktaha Prabhavitum Nachet Evam Devaha Nakalu Kushalaha Spanditum Api Ataha Tvam Aradhyam Harihara Virinji Adihi Api Pranantum Stotum Va Katam Akrutta Punyaha Prabhavati Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitum Nache Devam Devo Nakalu Kushala Spanditum Api Ataswamaradyam Harihara Virinjadi Virapi Pranantum Stotum Va Katamakrita Punya Prabhavati. So Shiva and Shakti are inseparable. See, our Shakti cannot be separated from us, isn't it? Without our Shakti, what can we do? We cannot do anything, isn't it? We can't even move an inch, a millimeter. So Shiva is endowed with the power of Shakti. So Shivaha Shaktya Yuktaha. Shiva is always with Shakti. They're inseparable. Right? So Prabhavitum, if Shiva has to express, the Parabrahman has to express itself as the universe. If the Parabrahman has to manifest itself as the universe, Prabhavitum means to manifest as the universe. Prabhavitum Shaktaha Bhavati. Prabhavitum Shaktaha Bhavati. So to manifest, Shiva should be capable to manifest. So who is giving that capability to Shiva to manifest, to appear as the creation? Who is giving the capability for the ocean to appear as waves? Yadi Shaktaha Bhavati. So Shiva can manifest as the universe if Yadi Shaktaha Yuktaha Shivaha Prabhavitum Shaktaha Bhavati. If Shiva has to appear as the universe, Shiva should be endowed with the power of Shakti. Without the power, how can he? Nachet. So nachet means if not, nachet yadi, in this manner, evam, what will happen if Shiva is not endowed with the power of Shakti? He will not be able to even move. Movement is impossible. Spanditum api. Spanda means movement. Spanda is movement. He will not be able to move without Shakti. Spanditum api na kalu kushalaha. Kushalaha means not able to. Na kalu kushalaha, cannot move. Spanditum api kushalaha, that devaha Shiva, who cannot move, devaha, that devaha Shiva cannot move. Shiva will not be able to move without the power of Shakti. And without the power of Shakti, how can Shiva create? How can the ocean appear as waves? How can Shiva appear as the creation? So in this line, in the opening verse of Soundarya Lahari, Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada glorifies Shakti, the power of Shakti. Without power of Shakti, Shiva cannot move, Shiva cannot create. Yadi Shaktya Yuktaha Bhavati Prabhavitum Shaktaha Nachet evam Devaha Spanditum Api Na Kushalaha Kalu. That is the power of Shakti, isn't it? So without Shakti, Shiva will be like Shava. Shivaha will be Shava. How powerful the Devi is. Without her, how can creation be possible? Ataha. So Ataha, therefore, talks when I say therefore here, it is implicit that the Parashakti is creation. Without Parashakti, there is no creation at all. The Parabrahman cannot express itself without her. Impossible to express. So that Devi is worthy enough to be worshipped. Aradhyam. Aradhya means worshipped. Pam Aradhyam. Worthy enough to be worshipped. And who worships the Devi? So Devi, you are the one you are the one who is worthy enough to be worshipped. By whom? By Mahavishnu, by Shiva, by Haraha, by Brahma, by all the Devatas. So Tvam Aradhyam, Harihi. When you say Harihi, it is Mahavishnu. Haraha, Shiva. Virinji is Brahma. Virinji Adi. Virinji Adi. When you say Virinji and others, Brahma and the other Devatas. So Virinji means one who creates. So Brahma is known as the creator. How does Brahma create? Because of the order from the Devi. The Devi wants Brahma to create. She endows all the power to Brahma. And based on the power, Brahma is able to create. So Virinji is one who creates. So Brahma is the creator. So Virinji Adi. Virinji Adi. When you say Adi, it indicates the Devatas. Who are the Devatas? The Devatas are cosmic forces which maintain the universe. See, once the universe is created, the universe has to be maintained. The design of the universe is such that it operates in a particular fashion, particular manner. It follows a dharma. So who maintains this dharma of the creation? The devas maintain it. So devas are the key cosmic forces. They are the deities. They're generally grouped as Ashtavasus, Ekadasha Rudra, Dvadasha Aditya, then Ashwini Devatas. So two Ashwini Devatas. There are 8 Vasus, there are 11 Rudras, 12 Adityas, 2 Ashwini Devatas. They make up about 33. They make up 33 key cosmic forces which maintain the universe. And the cosmic forces worship the Devi, they praise the Devi because she is the one who is worthy enough to be worshipped. She is the only one who is worthy enough to be worshipped. So Shiva worships the Devi. Haraha, Harihi worships the Devi, Mahavishnu. Virinji, Brahma, and the Devatas. 33 Devatas. We say 33 crore Devatas. You should take it as 33 Devatas. So the Devatas, Mahavishnu, Shiva, they bow and praise the Devi. Pranantum stotum. Stotum, to praise you. I will do namaskaram to you. I'll worship you. I bow to you. Pranantum, pranantum stotum. Tam pranantum, tvam pranantum, tvam stotum va. So Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva are the Trimurtis. The Trimurtis, along with the other Devatas, the cosmic forces of the universe, O Devi, they praise you, they bow to you, pranantum stotum va. And to praise you and bow to you is not that easy. Not everyone can praise and bow to the Devi. Only the most privileged one can do that. Who are the privileged ones? Only the privileged one gets the opportunity to praise the Devi, to bow to the Devi. And these privileged ones are people who have done punya. They accumulated lots and lots of punya. Without punya, even the thought will not occur in the mind that I should praise the Devi, I should bow to the Devi. Even the thought will not occur in the mind of an ordinary person. The person should have done koti punya even to think about the Devi. So the one who does not have punya can never have the opportunity. When you say akruta punyaha, the one who does not have punya is akruta punyaha. Punyam na krutam yenaha. Punyam na krutam yena akruta punyaha. So one must have done lots and lots of punyam in the previous janma. Then alone it is possible for them to worship the Devi, to bow to the Devi and praise the Devi. Otherwise, even the thought will not occur in the mind. And that is the greatness of this Shakti. So that Shakti, that Devi is worthy enough to be worshipped. So Akruta Punyaha, the one who does not have this Punyam, Katham Prabhavati. How is it possible? If you don't have that Punya, your Purva Janma Punya, how is it possible for you to worship the Devi? How is it possible for you to bow to the Devi and praise the Devi? So Katham Prabhavati. Katham Prabhavati Pranantum Stotum Va Akurta Punya. Akurta Punya. Only if we have worshipped the Devi in the past, in the previous Janma, then alone we get the eligibility to worship her in this Janma. Prabhavati means able to. If you're able to worship her, if you're able to praise her, if you're able to bow to her, Prabhavati. Katham Prabhavati, Pranantum Stotum Va Akrutta Punya. Otherwise, in this Janma, it is impossible even to think about her. Even the thought will not arise in your mind about the Devi. And the Devi alone is worthy enough to be worshipped. So, Yadi Shaktya Yuktaha Shivaha Prabhavitum Shaktaha Bhavati Nachet Evam Devaha Spanditum Api Na Kushalaha Kalu. Ataha Harihara Virinji Adihi Api Aradhyam Tvam Pranantum Stotum Va Akruta Punyam Katham Prabhavati. And that's how Adishankar Bhagavad Bhata begins his first shloka. So he does not question, right? How is it possible to worship you? He does not question, but the question is implicit in this shloka. It is impossible to worship her, impossible to bow down to the Shakti without Purva Janma Punyam. So Bhavati means what? Bhavati is become, to be is Bhavati, not Bhavati, Bhav. When you say Bhava, Bhava means to become, to be capable of prabhavitum shaktaha, yadi shaktya yuktaha shivaha prabhavitum shaktaha bhavati. So Soundarya Lahari has this, it's not just shloka, like I said in the previous session, the first session, it has a lot of hidden mantras within Soundarya Lahari. A person may not have exposure to mantra shastram, and such people can also benefit by chanting the shlokas. So the mantras are hidden in Soundarya Lahari. The tradition also says, because if mantras has to be chanted, they have to be chanted in a particular way. So since Soundarya Lahari comprises of mantras, it has to be chanted in a particular way. So we cannot sing Soundarya Lahari. As today, we have different people reciting Soundarya Lahari in many ways. We are not saying it is right or wrong, but generally the tradition says that since it is all the mantras are embedded in the shlokas, it has to be said in a certain way. And the shloka also begins with Shiva and then Shakti. So look at this way. The shloka is about the power of Shakti. It is about the praise of Shakti. Why does the shloka begin with Shiva? It should have begin with Shakti, right? So it begins with Shivaha Shaktya Yuktaha Yadi Bhavati. It does not begin with Shakti. So in the tradition of Sri Vidya, Shiva and Shakti are samam. When you say samam, samatvam are at the same level. In fact, they're one. Shiva and Shakti are not different. They're one. But we look at them individually. See, when you look at the ocean, also look at the waves. So both of them both of them seem like two different appearances. So Shiva and Shakti look like two different appearances, but Shiva and Shakti are samam. To enforce this message, this shloka begins with Shivaha, not Shakti. Shivaha Shaktya. When you say Shiva, Shiva is also Shakti. When you say Shakti, Shakti is also Shiva. They are not different. So one of the namas in Lalita Sahasranama is Shri Shiva. The Devi is addressed as Shri Shiva. She is Shiva. There is also another mantra, in Lalita Sahasranama, Shiva Shatyaika Rupini. Shiva Shatyaika Rupini. So samam means of equal status. Samam is also known as samaya. So the word samayachara is derived from this word samaya, equanimity. And samayachara is the path of worship. So in samayachara, the focus is on taking the worship internally with bhakti as the core of the hridaya. So that is the aspect of samayachara. And the union of Shiva and Shakti, it is described in many, many ways. And the whole purpose of describing Shiva and Shakti in many ways is to only tell us that Shiva and Shakti are not different. Shakti is Shiva, Shiva is Shakti. See, for example, in the names, Shiva and Shakti are always together. We say Shiva, Shakti. We say Bhairava, Bhairavi. We say Kala, Kali. We say Kameshwara, Kameshwari. See, even in the names, they are identical. The names always go together. So this also gives a message that both of them are not different. They are one and the same. Shiva is Shakti and Shakti is Shiva. And when you look at Kameshwara and Kameshwari, so look at the Swarupam, the Saguna Rupam, both of them, absolutely alike. See, both of them are maroon in color. They got three eyes. And the Shakti also has got the third eye. They got half moon, Ardha Chandra, above the head. Both of them have got four hands. And each hand, they are holding the same type of weapon. The bow, the arrow, the pasha, the ankosha. Same type of weapon. The same type of weapons. So even in appearance, Kameshwari and Kameshwari look one and the same. Even in the name, they go together. And the location is also very similar. So the location of the Shakti is Meru. In the Meru, she locates in the ocean of nectar, Manidvipa. Manidvipa is the Bindu in Sri Chakra. And Shiva resides in Kailasha, another peak. See, even in terms of location, they're same only. And even there's another aspect as well, in terms of describing to us, Shakti and Shiva are not different. See, in terms of Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Tirobhava, and Anugraha, the Panchakritya, both are equated, no difference. And both of them give us Anugraha. Even in Anugraha, they're not different. So the union of Shiva and Shakti is described in many ways, especially when it comes to worship. See, when it comes to worship, we always start with duality, isn't it? You have to first look at the waves first, enjoy the waves. Then through the waves, you reach the ocean. The ocean is the ultimate reality. The ocean is of a higher nature. The wave is of a lower nature. The wave is the order of is the lower order of reality, whereas the ocean is a higher order of reality. So in the worship, there is duality. So in the worship, for the mind to be aligned to the union of Shakti and Shiva are described in all these 5 ways. The names, they are similar. In appearance, they are similar. Their location is similar. In terms of their activities, they are similar. Both of them can bestow moksha, liberation. So what is the difference between Shakti and Shiva? Shiva is Shakti, Shakti is Shiva. So that Shiva is Parabrahman and the Devi is Parabrahma Shakti. Even though they're one and the same, we see them as two, isn't it? Because we are still in ignorance. So without Shakti, the world will not exist. So we must start with the world first. See, you start with the wave first and reach the ocean, Shiva. So you start with the world first. And you start seeing the world as nothing but abhasa, the reflection. Not just mere names and forms. We get caught up in the names and forms in the world and forget the abhasa, isn't it? See, when you walk into the room walk into a room, it's a dark room full of objects. You switch on the light. All the objects are visible to you. They come into your experience. That moment you forget the light. So every experience you undergo in this world, in this objective world, it happens in the presence of the Parabrahman. The Parabrahman is that Swayam Jyoti, the consciousness, the awareness. We forget the awareness. So when we look at Shakti and Shiva as two different beings, it's only because of our ignorance. So we must start seeing the world and start seeing the world as abhasa, like the sun and the rays. And that Shakti becomes very, very important for us to realize the Parabrahman. So Shakti gives us anugraha. Shakti liberates us by showing us that Parabrahman. When I say showing us the Parabrahman doesn't mean that she's showing a different personality. No. She is showing herself as Shiva. Right? I am the world and I am Shiva. So that is the essence of the first shloka. So in this shloka, Shankara Bhagavatpada describes the power of Shakti. He praises Shakti. He bows down to Shakti in this context. Shivaha Shaktya Yuktaha Yadi Bhavati Shaktaha Prabhavitum Nachet Evam Devaha Nakalu Kushalaha Spandithum Api Ataha Kwam Aradyam Harihara Virinji Adihi Api Pranantum Stotum Va Katam Akruta Punyaha Prabhavati. That is the first beautiful verse in which he starts. So in the second verse, we'll cover the second verse in the next session. In the second verse, he continues the praise of the Devi. See, the Trimurtis have got certain functions to do. The creation has to appear because the Parabrahman is expressing its joy through the creation. The creation has to appear. When the creation appears, it is Srishti. So the creation is sustained by the cosmic forces. So that is Sthitihi. And anything which is created doesn't last forever. When a wave appears out of the ocean, it has to eventually die down. Everything which is created has to finally disappear. So you have Srishti, Sthiti, and Samhara. How can these activities happen by the Trimurtis? Haraha, Harihi, and Brahma, without the power of the Shakti. So she has to enable them. She has to enable them to function. And she is the power of the reality. She is the Mahamaya. When you say Maya, Maya is the knowing power. The unmanifested is Maya. When it manifests, it's become avidya. See, when it manifests, it becomes knowledge. Isn't it? Anything which manifests, it becomes knowledge. You see an object in front of you. That is knowledge for you. That object has been manifested. So where was the object before it got manifested? It was in a seed form. It was in an unmanifested form. Before a tree comes out of a seed, where was the tree? It was inside the seed, in an unmanifest form. So unmanifested is Maya, manifest is avidya, and manifested is knowledge. It is like this. You visualize for a moment. You're walking on a beach and you're simply with yourself, right? Enjoying the beach. It's an evening time. The sun is just about to set. Beautiful environment. So suddenly a desire arises in you. And what is this desire about? Let me express myself differently. I see sand all around me. Let me build a sand castle. So you build a sand castle. You enjoy the castle. And after some time, what happens? You decide to break it. So building the sand castle and breaking the sand castle was your play, your leela. Of course, you employed certain people around you because you wanted to build a very complicated castle with some intricate designs. So you see some boys playing around. So you pull each of them and give them certain tasks to do it. So one is given a task to build the castle. Then after it's built, the other person should guard the castle, making sure nobody breaks it. And finally, there is a third person who will come and destroy it. These are your agents. From where did the castle appear from? From the sand. And after breaking it, where did the castle go? Back to the sand. And the creation is the play of the Parabrahma. And this Devi is enabling these three boys to build the castle, sustain the castle, and destroy the castle. What are the three boys? Shiva, Vishnu. Brahma builds the castle on your behalf. And Vishnu will maintain the castle. Nobody will come and break it. Finally, Hara will come and destroy it. All the three boys are doing because of your sankalpa. You wanted to express yourself. You wanted to express the joy in that evening to build this sand castle, walking on this beautiful beach. It's your play. That's how the second shloka begins with. Look at the second shloka in the next session. Stop the session. Uttame shikare jate bhumyam parvata murdhani brahmane bhyo nyata devi yatha sukam suto maya varada vedamata prachodayanti pavane dvijata आयु पृथिव्यां द्रविणं ब्रह्मवर्चसं मह्यं दत्त्वा प्रजातुं ब्रह्मलोकम् ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्